against Thyak.
Well, and if CJ Blaze wins, it's going to be a very good day for the CJ Entus Pro Gaming organization because, of course, Frost over in IEM Singapore won a pretty convincing 2-0, as I understand. Didn't get to see the games myself because I was here.
Right.
But won a pretty convincing 2-0 over the Saigon Jokers to advance to the finals against Invictus.
Yeah.
CJ Blaze wins today. They will go to the finals and face off against either OMG or WE.
I think it's a pretty, you could be pretty proud of having each of your teams in the finals of different tournaments in different countries at the same time.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Yeah. If I was a manager at CJ, I'd be like, well done. You know?
Well, Shyvana the first pick for Porky this time around.
Yeah.
And on the red side, I mean, we're seeing the Nidalee bans as well, so Yuri not comfortable on that champion, and you certainly don't want to hand it over. And they're trying to stop Daydream just a little bit, at least Oriana and Annie, so same bans as last time. Cassidy's still available.
Yeah, will we see Fiddlesticks and Diana picked up by Blaze? And another thing with this Diana is we don't really know where it's going to go. But yeah, there we go. There's the switch over to Jin Zhao. That answers that question. Support and jungle all figured out.
Yeah, Blaze really likes to early pick junglers because they want to make sure that they get something that Daydream can be really, really aggressive on. So with Aatrox and Lee Sin no longer there, they've got that opportunity. And Ziggs coming out with Vi. Very interesting pick so far.
I mean, Ziggs does have that satchel charge, does have the slow, so it can mean some pretty decent ganks if your mechanics are good in that mid lane. But more than that, you know, we've seen Ziggs as part of Siege comps lately.
Yeah, very good with the changes to his ability to wave clear. He's exceptional at sieging. The Vi pick is a little bit interesting. They have a lot of dive potential with Shyvana and Vi. It doesn't necessarily sync up or synergize the best with Ziggs, but it's okay.
And here we go. So Zed and Corki picked up, and it's kind of a brave move to pick that Ziggs so early, I feel, for Team Lion.
Yeah, a little bit. And the Lucian, so Lucian's Sona, so they've got some sustain for the siege right now. The solution is back, and this is great for Lion. Again, they have a lot of opportunities. They're very good at these pick and ban phases so far. I mean, this gives them a lot of flexibility. They're able to siege, and they're able to dive very effectively 5-man under turrets with Vi and Shyvana right there. I'm liking what we're seeing from Lion.
That's right. And there we go. Rengar actually locked in. We're going to see Flame play Rengar. Wow.
Now, no surprise. I mean, the rise of Rengar has been pretty consistent. When we see all these champions like Shyvana, like Jax, that really want to split push here, it's a great pickup.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, this is it for Team Lion. They need to take this game if they want to have any chance of getting any farther at the WCG Grand Finals for 2013. Quite the lineup they've got. They've got a lot of siege.
Yeah, they have a strong composition, and it's different. So they did switch up their plan from last game. They are going to try something. Instead of going for that AoE wombo, it's now about the poke followed by a 5-man dive.
It's good to see depth, too, to this team as well. I mean, it shows that they really do definitely know what they're doing. They're not here by a fluke. They deserve to be in the semifinals. But, man, CJ Blaze, that's a tough opponent. And you do have that Zed for ambition. It's going to be crazy. Game number 2 starting between CJ Blaze and Team Lion. Mexico versus South Korea here at WCG. Let's get in the game. And here we go. It's time, set 2, Lyon Gaming versus CJ Blaze. With Doe and Monte Cristo here on the second to last day of WCG 2013. It's been a fun tournament. We've got a really interesting semifinal match. Of course, Lyon Gaming from Mexico, 1 game down. But they've got a chance to tie it up here in game 2.
Yeah, I believe the other semifinal should be played tomorrow between OMG and WE, and then we'll wrap it up with the grand finals. which will be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, no matter who makes it out of it, it's going to be amazing.
Well, Doa, you know what this game reminds me of? So there's a Korean fusion restaurant.
Oh, really?
By my apartment when I lived in Brooklyn.
Ah, okay.
And I've actually had kimchi tacos there.
Really?
Yep. They were quite good.
Two great tastes that go great together,
That's right.
Cristo.
Just like this game. So great.
You know, actually, that sounds really good.
It is really good.
I mean, was it like just a regular beef taco and then they just put kimchi in it?
Yeah. Stuff like that.
I approve. That sounds awesome. Gonna have to go to a taco place near my house. Oh, Ambition. A little bit of trouble here, a little bit of damage onto him. A lot of damage onto Ambition. Certainly gonna force him back a little bit.
Well, that's bad, too. He's going to miss his first wave.
Yeah.
Well, he is going to heal up just a little bit here. He does have the door and shield.
You know, I guess so.
Has to play it a bit cautiously early, and with the harassment coming out of Ziggs, it may be hard. Oh, boy.
Oh, I like you. I like you, CJ Blaze. So bloodthirsty. Ner'zhul gets lit up immediately. There's the ignite, and there's first blood for Emperor.
That's a novice mistake right there by Lion.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where you don't face check that bush.
Yeah.
That's something that comes with a lot of preparation. Level 1s are challenging for pro teams, and it's very difficult with the Fog of War to figure out what the hell is going on a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so you have to play that very cautiously. And I mean, Emperor and Lustboy, that was a bit. They're preying on the inexperience of Lion right here,
obviously
because Lion tried to. They thought maybe that they were up there helping with the blue buff, perhaps, because they didn't get good level 1 wards because Blaze actually fanned very nicely and prevented deep warding. So since they didn't have a read on the jungle, it opened up that opportunity.
Yeah. That's rough. It's a rough way to start out, but there's a lot of game left. We'll see what happens. Yuri pushed up pretty far in that lane. Pink goes down from CJ Blaze.
They don't know this is coming.
Daydream's coming in from behind. Oh, man, Yuri's in big trouble. Ambition baiting. Gets very low. Yuri in trouble now. Ambition actually can't help out. Yuri takes down Ambition. Can he get away, though? I don't think so, but at least he comes away with one. Ambition, he tried to give up first blood. He really tried, but wasn't quick enough this game. Sorry, Ambition. You weren't quite able to pull it off.
Now, Thyak here, he's got a good angle.
Yeah, he does.
On this, he's waiting a long time, though. They had to clear out that minion wave. Will they go in? They're not. Oh, they're telegraphing.
I think you got to go in. You got to go in. Yep, there we go. Vault Breaker loaded up. Lustboy does dodge it, and he's going to have to use this flash, but still, you're right. That was pretty obvious that one was coming in.
Well, I mean, they did get the flash out at the very least, but the Vault Breaker not hitting a bit unfortunate. Didn't have the vision in the brush to make that happen, and look at Flame.
Oh, boy. Goodbye, Porky. Man.
Daydream been loving that Jin Zhao for the past couple of rounds.
Well, it's been paying off for him. 2 kills already in 4 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
Frustration on the faces of Team Lion already. You can't blame him. I mean, this has been tough.
Well, Flame has been an absolute monster up in this top lane as well. If we look at Rengar right now, he's already up a massive amount of CS. Goes ahead and picks up an early Negatron cloak with his lead.
Huh.
And so he's just looking to continue dueling, keep trading as much as possible. And he's going to be winning out in that arena, at least early on right here. Ambition having a bit of trouble, though. Neither of our mid laners really has been able to CS very well.
Well, so far, the game's still fairly close, but CJ Blaze definitely with a commanding start anyway. And Ner'zhul and Saya going up into the jungle. They're going to get met here by Daydream. Daydream going in onto Ner'zhul right away. They're going to get that little bit of a knock-up. Ner'zhul in trouble, uses that ignite. Daydream in trouble, and Saya comes in for the kill. Emperor tries to chase out Ner'zhul. It's not going to work. Double kill for Saya. CJ getting a little bit too overeager there.
Yeah, nice presence on the counter gank by Sayak. He really read that one well. And the bait from Ner'zhul also excellently done. Emperor definitely going way too far right there.
Yeah, a little bit of cockiness. And I mean, after game 1, you can't blame him, but at the same time, you really can't underestimate anybody in this tournament.
No, you don't want to pull those kind of moves. I'm sure their coach is not going to be too happy with them for that one.
They're going to hear about that. No doubt.
Ambition still having a bit of trouble. He is able to farm from a distance with his shuriken, though, so he's got that going for him at the very least. Thyak maybe coming in. Oop, no, just trying to get away from Daydream.
I would be too at this point.
Well,
and so
the one problem that CJ Blaze may run into here, and it's a good advantage for Lyon, is that they're not going to have the best wave clear. And so if the sieges start happening early...
Daydream coming in under Yuri.
Oh, he saw it.
I think he should know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, backing off a little bit. All right, well, now moving up to that top lane, and that means Porky needs to be careful. He was dived easily before.
Yeah, he'll probably be dived easily
I
again.
would say so. You definitely want to back off. Flame going in, getting Porky to get pulled out of position a little bit, take a little bit more damage. Porky has no idea. He should know.
Oh, here comes, he actually ulted. He's faking him out. This was smart.
Yep, that's right. There we go, on to Porky. And here comes Daydream on Jin Zhao to finish it off with a knock-up under turret. Porky just not going to make it out of this one. Flame has to back off. Daydream picks up another kill. 3-1-0 already this game.
This top lane is a disaster. 16 CS to 45 already. Flame just running a clinic right here. Ambition has been getting poked out, but he's at least been able to keep the CS count even and prevent too much damage from going down onto his turret.
Well, Thyak has to come up to this top lane now, but he's going to be 1v2 here.
That was a really sneaky little move right there by Flame as well, wrapping around the side so that his opponent thought he was maybe warding or just pulling back to avoid a potential gank coming in because he didn't have vision, popping his ultimate and then getting right back underneath the turret. It really, the mind game right there that faked Porky out was nicely done by Blaze.
Yeah, the CJ players really trying to pull out all the little lane tricks in the book this game. Really, again, like you said, trying to prey on that inexperience.
That's exactly what they're doing, though. Like they are doing things that professional teams know will take an advantage of more amateur players.
Yeah. This is the case, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Team Lyon. But the thing is that they're going to come away with this, even if they do lose 2-0. They're going to come away with this with a really good experience. A lot of good practice here.
No, I mean, they finished top 4. That's excellent.
Well, yeah, great finish already, but also, you know, a valuable loss, I would say. If you're going to go out, you might as well go out to somebody like CJ Blaze.
But I mean, if we look at the teams that were in this tournament, I mean, we had a team, like you're saying, that was at the World Championship in the OA Flash Wolves.
Yeah.
Lyon made it further. We had a team that was in the LPL last season, the Chinese League in the summer season. And look at this, there we go.
Thyak getting jumped on, big engage over the wall, and they're going to continue it. Ner'zhul, will they be able to catch him here? Not quite.
Yeah, again, Blaze is running one of those compositions where everybody can jump over walls again.
Yeah.
And so they're using that quite nicely to come in over the top. But as I was saying, like, Energy Pacemaker was an LPL team. They got further than them, too. I mean, they've done very respectably at this event.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ambition still down a little bit to Yuri. Kind of the bright spot in this game. Oh, Seiya needs to be really careful. There's a flash from Lost Boy. Gets cleansed immediately, though. Seiya not getting too caught off guard by that fear.
Yeah, good reaction time, actually, by Seiya.
No kidding. Oh, that was a bit embarrassing.
Just a little bit at the end of the range. Not really worth it right there because you know Porky has flash up and he was close enough to the turret. You probably weren't going to be able to burst him down.
You know, the thing is, Ner'zhul didn't use his flash there, too. He thought, well, I'll just give it a try, see what I can get. Didn't come up with anything, but at least he still has that summoner spell for later.
Yeah, Flame is just destroying this top lane, though. That's really the problem in this game, is that Rengar is getting just tremendously massive, and there's nothing that can really be done about it because they're trying to make plays elsewhere on the map. Now they're going to try for a somewhat risky dragon right here.
So I suppose it's the best timing, really, they have to go for this, though. I mean, can't argue with it.
Yeah, last time Daydream stole it, so are they going to go in again?
Oh, nope. They get it. Okay. And will they escape, though, without any damage? Thyak knows he can Vault Breaker over the wall, but Ner'zhul getting caught a little bit by Daydream. I think he's going to get knocked up. Tries to flash away from him. The knock-up still happens. Emperor chasing. Seiya comes in to try to do a little bit of zoning, a little bit of damage here. Thyak over the wall. They do manage to take him out. Emperor still in trouble. Ambition joins the fight now. Thyak in trouble because of that death mark. Seiya in trouble. A huge... Well, actually, never mind. Ambition comes in.
Uri will take down Emperor. Ambition actually got out of that fight thanks to the new Zed mechanic where his ult shadow stays where he initially ults from.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to see the Zed changes and how they're affecting the game. Of course, makes it a lot harder for him to all in and stick to somebody, but much better in terms of team fights because you can get in, deal damage, and get out very effectively.
Yeah, well, Flame came down to this mid lane now. He's going to be hanging out a little bit there. You know, the funny thing is that gold is dead even between these teams right now.
Oh, they've lost a tower right now. I mean, we see the tower lead going in favor
of Team Lion.
Yeah. And they got the dragon. So if we take a look at this is again an overextension by CJ Blaze right here, and it does get turned around. Maybe a misuse of that ultimate right there. Ambition is able to take down Thyak, and then watch him pop back out of this in just a second. Yeah, right there, all the way back.
Wow.
So leaves Emperor a little high and dry, but nice reaction at least from Lion to come down. Yuri reading the situation and getting there in time to deal some damage.
Does that take me out too? He's that good.
It looks like a Bloodthirster build on Lucian this game, so going for a little bit of a different build, a sustain build, able to duel pretty darn effectively with that, not going all the way up to the Trinity Force right away. And this is a good time for them to siege. Now that he's got the Bloodthirster down, and they've got Ziggs, it'd be great for them to get a blue buff on Ziggs, but that may not happen. But they need to start thinking about grouping soon while they have this advantage. They do have this power spike on the AD carry. Yeah. He has gotten a couple kills early on. He's significantly up in farm right now.
They need to make something out of it. Daydream coming down to checking for the blue. Thyak already there, though. This fight's going to happen around the blue buff now. Yuri trying to toss a little bit of damage over the walls. Lustboy in position with Fiddlesticks. They really, really want to get this blue buff. Ziggs is rather blue dependent early on, and look at this, Flame getting a bit caught here. Can he get away? He's very, very tanky though. This is going to be a long chase if they take him down. Flame trying to escape. They're going to come in, they're going to pop the Vi ultimate. Flame in trouble here, he flashes. Here comes Daydream coming in for the counter engage, and suddenly Lion on the run. Thyak very low, Flame picks up that kill, the heal keeping him alive, and Porky has to back off. The fear though, the Crow Storm coming in, and the Ziggs ultimate not helping enough. Oh man, CJ Blaze turned that one around.
Yeah, Flame had just an excellent turnaround right there, and he's got so much tankiness against the Shyvana, just not taking very much magic damage early on.
It just took so long to try to kill him.
Yep. It's the problem they're going to continue facing.
Yep.
They don't really have a good answer, and this is excellent.
Whoa, there's Zul with the crescendo over the top. Yuri trying to zone a little bit. Gets a lot of damage in onto Daydream, who jumps back in. Deathmark comes down onto Yuri. Is he going to be able to survive it? Ambition still going hard. Nerzul backs off a little bit. Can he get the heal off in time? A little bit of a heal. Yuri. Oh, but Ambition manages to get the kill in the end. It was a nice try, but Nerzul just could not keep him alive.
But, okay, so that was actually really worth it for CJ Blaze. Yes, they lost 2 people, but getting the blue buff off of Ziggs is incredibly important.
Yeah.
If you look at what the team composition from Lion wants to do, they want to siege. Now, Ziggs had to buy a Seeker's Arm Guard to survive the laning phase against Zed. So he doesn't have a Chalice, he doesn't have an Athene's, he has no mana regeneration.
Right.
He needs blue to siege and to take advantage of the fact that the Bloodthirster power spike has already happened. Now, if you're CJ Blaze, you can die. You can die right now to deny that blue, because there is such an advantage in the top lane that Flame has, and Ambition able to create those picks on the map. He's been farming just fine as well. So you want to they're taking away the tools for Lion to win and use their comp properly.
Yeah.
I really like Blaze's play right here in their decision making.
Yeah, they're kind of doing everything right. Half mind games, half knowing exactly what the items are on the other side. Looks like they will lose this mid lane turret though. I don't think there's anything they can do to save that. Nope. There it goes. So it is still 2 turrets to 1. Gold's still very even. Lion Gaming still in the game.
I'm not sure what Flame was doing right there, but he'll just head back up into the top lane. Daydream covering for him.
Thought he could get down in time, possibly.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to take advantage of some sort of pick right there, but he just needs to split push. I mean, he's so vastly far ahead at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Porky trying to farm up as much as he can, but he's already 0-3-0, nearly half the CS of Flame. And Flame, all he needs to do is just stand there. There's the bullet slowing down Porky. Yeah, Flame just can bully him out of lane whenever he wants to.
Making it look easy, Doa.
Yep, certainly is.
And there's the culling, clearing out the wave so that Ambition can't quite take this turret down. Little
smart
poke,
move.
Little poke from the Living Shadow. Shadow Slash onto Seiya as well. And there's a little bit of a ward battle that's going to be going down right here.
Daydream may come in. They want Daydream to come in. Doesn't fall for it, though.
Yeah, with Yuri not on the map right there, too dangerous for Blaze. And they're starting to play a little bit more cautious, a little bit more measured. Going in too deep has burned them a couple of times now. And with Dragon about to come up, you want to make sure you can at least make a contest for it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this Dragon. wards over both sides. Lyon Gaming could really use it, but dangerous to try to take against Blaze, not to mention that turret in mid lane is in danger too. Blaze kind of saying, all right, well, if you want Dragon, you're going to have to pay for it with your mid lane turret, and I don't think Lyon Gaming wants to do that.
No, they have that advantage. Look, Lostboy going in.
Yeah, there's Saphir onto Thyak as well. Saya trying to zone. He actually does save him. Crescendo from the top defensively from Nerzul. Flame comes in, gets ulted immediately by Vi, and there's the ultimate coming in from Porky on top of the Ziggs ultimate. Porky, oh, that fear really helped out Blaze. Saya chasing, though, does not have the culling available. Porky manages to almost get a kill on Ambition. Nerzul finishes him off. And you know what? Lyon Gaming coming out of that ahead.
Yeah, turning that around really, really nicely right there.
Yeah.
Blaze definitely, again, overextended on that engage. They wasted the crescent sweep as well from Xin Zhao. Just wasn't a very effective use of that ultimate. I'm sure we'll take a look at it again.
Yep.
But here's Lyon, and they are coming back, and they are going to take a lead as they take this Dragon.
Yeah, they're going to get the Dragon. They're going to get the gold lead. And some new life breathed into Lyon Gaming here. They've still got that turret lead as well.
Very nicely done.
And oh, man. This is exciting. This is getting interesting, Monte Cristo.
It certainly is. Well, Blaze now coming in. Let's take a look at this fight one more time. So Lostboy gets in a little bit in advance. Emperor uses his Valkyrie to come into the lane right there. And look at that. Fiddlesticks has to flash out, actually.
Yep.
And Flame tries to make an attack, but the rest of his team was actually delayed by the crescendo. So he ends up getting focused out immediately. So just really good target calling and kiting coming out of Lyon right there.
Yeah, and Yuri really showing the power that Ziggs can pack in the end there. I mean, that was a great ultimate right when Blaze got packed up in the jungle. And a really good crescendo coming in from Nerzul as well. Saved Thyak's life, helped turn that fight around.
Yeah, solid warding from Lyon as well.
Yeah. Man, this is really interesting. Lyon Gaming giving CJ Blaze a bit of a run for their money here in Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Blaze has been down in several games so far this tournament, but they always manage to turn it around. They haven't even lost a game yet.
It is kind of a CJ specialty to be down early on and then come back, but here's a dive. They're going to just go for the turret, though. They want to get that advantage here. They want to get that turret lead again. They should be able to grab it.
Yeah, they have the 4-man down on the bottom as well.
Yeah, they do.
See, this is the issue, is that they actually need two top in order to deal with Flame's Rengar right now.
Right.
And so that's opening up CJ Blaze pressure on this bottom lane. But they do trade one tower for one tower. Blaze not able to shove any further.
Yeah, they do maintain that tower lead, too.
This is what's so powerful about Ziggs right now, is he's so good at clearing ways with the changes to his ult and his minefield.
Yeah, Yuri has to be a little bit careful there, throwing that bouncing bomb into the brush. Just make sure it was up there.
This is great for Lyon. This is a smart time to try and 5-man.
Yeah.
And Blaze will have to pull off right now. Rengar still up in the top lane. And we're probably going to look at a pretty long game here, actually.
I think so. That's great. This is good.
This Ziggs build is... I don't know about this Ziggs build.
Seeker's Arm Guard into either Death Cap or Zonia's, depending on what you want.
It's so blue reliant. That's the problem. The problem is how blue reliant it is. And that's dangerous because CJ Blaze has been really working hard at controlling this blue buff for this exact reason.
Well, can Porky take this blue buff? We'll see. Again, Blaze trying to deny it. Flame's going to need to back off, though. And can Ziggs get there in time to take it? Doesn't look like it yet. They may just deny it from Blaze. Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and take it.
That's fine, though. That's exactly what Blaze wants. They just don't want it on Ziggs.
Yep, worked out. See, he's already half mana and now has to recall. Well, thinks about it anyway.
All right, red handed over to Emperor. And will this be Blaze's time to push right here?
Certainly could be.
Well, they're just going to go ahead and take... I guess he needed some gold for an item. Let's see what he goes back and picks up.
Yeah. All right. Massive crowd. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's just enormous audience here watching some League of Legends.
Yeah, well, this is a pretty great game. Great game. No surprise. We've got a packed house.
Okay, well, it looks like... Yuri's going to be going Zhonya's into Void Staff. Well, that's a little odd, but it's going to limit his siege potential, but of course he will be stronger in team fights if he actually gets into the mix.
Yeah.
His burst will go up, his survivability goes up, his, of course, ability to sustain a siege goes down, and I feel like that's kind of a shame because he could really do a lot with Lucian here in terms of sieging.
Yeah.
Lucian and Sona. just a lot better sustain. But he did have to get that arm guard early just to prevent against these Zed all-ins. And also helpful, of course, against Rengar and Corki as well.
Right. Well, Saya having a really good game on Lucian. 3-0-4 up in CS to Emperor. Not bad at all. He's getting very close to finishing that Trinity Force as well. That's kind of the big difference, that because of that Bloodthirster first, his Trinity Force is going to be later, but it did give him that dueling potential that we saw come into play quite a bit, some of those early skirmishes.
Yeah, again, the problem is Flame, though. He continues to grow this CS lead.
Yeah.
He gets more and more items. He's picked up his Ninja Tabby now. He's getting close to finishing his Sunfire Cape. And after that, he's going to go into pure damage mode. And we've seen what his teammate Shy can do with a Spirit Visage, Sunfire, you know,
yeah.
Trinity Force, Renekton. It's pretty much unstoppable.
You know, to be fair, I mean, Porky hasn't really lost more ground to Flame in quite a while. It's been 60 CS down for quite a while, so at least he's keeping pace with him. He's still way down, but it's not getting worse per se.
There we go, using the culling to clear out that wave.
It's a good idea. It's a nice short cooldown ultimate, and that's kind of what it's for.
Yeah, you can see the problems that CJ Blaze has with shoving these turrets as well right now. You know, they only really have 2 ranged champions, so not the best at clearing waves or
CJ Blaze.
with safely poking down a tower. And the wave clear just very strong from Lyon, and they're using it to their advantage so that there's no more global gold really coming in. Finally, CJ Blaze manages to get a rotation. Daydream comes around the back so that he can allow his melee teammates to take it down. That was a nice little move there by Blaze.
It's a good idea. A little bit worried for the moment. Obviously, you're a little bit vulnerable to things like Crescendo when you're packed up in the jungle like that. We could see Lyon Gaming try to maybe take advantage of it, but I think without the vision, they're just a little bit too worried to go deep into that part of the jungle.
Well, they should be because of the pick potential is huge.
Oh, Thyax, speaking of pick potential, gets caught. There's Zig's ultimate on top of that, but Daydream and the rest of CJ Blaze have really good zones. They're able to take down Thyax and back off. Got a couple ults out of the deal, too.
And there we go.
Now it's Dragon time, yeah.
Very nice transition into Dragon. And Ambition didn't even have to use his Death Mark right there either, so he actually kept his Death Mark and his Blade off cooldown, and so just so much threat after that. Smart of Lyon to back out, because if they had gone in again with all those major abilities still up, would have been probably quite deadly.
I would say so. And Lyon really has played a great game too. They've been so patient. They haven't gotten rattled this game.
And now we see that Shyvana now cutting that CS lead pretty significantly. It came at the cost of, you know, a kill and a dragon. She wasn't really able to participate, but
they really do need Porky to be big.
They do. They absolutely do.
I'd say it's worth it. I mean, at this point, you have to kind of give those things up to be able to
There is no one else on this team that can stop the Rengar split push.
Yeah.
They have to use Shyvana. Yeah. There's no choice. So, with that in mind, sometimes maybe it's useful to sacrifice the dragon to concentrate some empty lane farm onto the person that you need to get those items.
Yep. Makes sense. Well, Daydream, Thyax loads up the Vault Breaker, but I don't think they're going to go in on this one. Yeah, uses it to get back over the wall. A little bit dangerous there. And it's a war of wards.
Yeah, again, Blaze is going to have to be very careful about how they deal with this warding situation. Again, because they have mostly these melee champions, so a little bit more dangerous to do some ward clearing.
Yep. And they're going to go in onto Daydream. There's the ultimate. They're pounding him in. Saya goes in, nearly hits him with a skill shot. Not quite. Daydream getting chased. Wow. Lyon Gaming going really deep. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to turn around.
Yeah, good silence, though, from Lustboy, so that they can't pursue too hard.
Yeah.
Daydream does take some damage, but they'll clear out the pink ward that was just dropped.
Yeah, get a little bit of vision back over the Baron area. Not bad.
Ambition split pushing right here. This is good. They want to spread people out right now. This is exactly what Blaze wants to do. They want the split going on with Rengar and with Zed, because when you have both of that, there's no way to stop both of them. Because who's going to take him down? Vi, no. Ziggs, no. Lucian, no.
Right. Well, Ziggs trying to stop
can only
Flame.
be in one spot.
Oh, Daydream gets a bit caught. There's Zephyr as well. They're going to knock him up, and Vault Break over the top, gets away. They lose the turret. At least Vi's still around. Oh, walks right into Flame. That does not work out very well.
No, it certainly doesn't. And now they have that man advantage again, so Flame going back up into that top lane. Now, he did ult right there, so it's a little bit understandable. Invisible Rengar, not something.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
That's easy to know where he is naturally. That's the nature of invisibility, Noah.
That's what invisibility is all about.
Not being seen.
High
quality analysis by Monte Cristo.
I was going to say I've seen that before, and I'm like, no, I can't. I actually can't see that ever. Well, mid-tier 2 turrets still alive, but CJ Blaze, you know, it's starting to be that point where it seems like they have all the answers. They're making all the right decisions, and it's getting a little bit tough for Lyon Gaming to sort of get a leg up in this game.
Well, their advantages are really starting to show right now.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the champions that they selected, and their early denial of the blue buff onto Ziggs was pretty critical in their ability to stop the siege from ever really happening.
Yep.
And with their style of play, in addition to their style of champion selection right here, they've got just a really powerful split push.
Yeah, Porky's still about 40 CS down right now, and more than that, he's down by a lot of kills and assists as well. So just a lot less gold overall than Flame. And you can see just all the damage Porky's taking, just trying to keep Flame off of this turret.
I fear there's not much left that Lyon can do in this one.
Yeah, if they can bait Blaze into a really favorable team fight, they can maybe come back and grab an objective or two, maybe a Baron, but it's looking pretty rough. Daydream thinking about coming in here. So yeah, there's a crescendo. They don't catch Flame, or Emperor rather. Tyak goes way deep, the culling over the wall. They're going way in on Emperor, but here's the engage from CJ Blaze. Lustboy over the wall with the ultimate. Daydream trying to back off a little bit, and actually Lyon Gaming, there's the Ziggs ult. They don't finish him off. Don't hit him with the middle of it. Yuri trying to get in for the kill, can't quite do it.
Rengar and
This
Zed
is
are
pretty
almost
scary.
here.
They're getting surrounded here. Ambition over the wall with the Living Shadow. There's the death mark onto Thyak. Flame in the middle of everybody, though. There's a roar. Ambition with the shutdown. Double kill already. Porky pops his ultimate, trying to get away. Yuri escaping as well. There's a slow from the Bola, and Yuri, can he? Okay, there's the minefield. So Blaze not going to be able to pursue any farther.
That was a bit of a crazy fight. 3 for 3 right there.
Was a little bit, yeah.
And that was a little odd. Emperor actually, he baited out the crescendo, didn't hit him, but then he valked back while the Vi ult, and then flashed over the wall to the Wraith Pit to have Vi follow him. Ended up in a bit of a 1v1 with the jungler, and Lustboy just got melted instantly.
Yeah.
And look at this. So Yuri has actually gone for I was incorrect about the Void Staff. He's gone for the Lich Bane.
Interesting.
So a lot of burst. And that's what really helps finish off that Fiddlesticks right there, because in combination with the extra damage from Ziggs' passive on his autos, he's going to hit like a truck. Let's take a look at that again. So just we're going to
Here's the end of the fight, I guess.
I wanted to see the beginning.
Oh well, it was a lot of fight. It was a lot of fight to watch. Seiya stuck around a little bit too long there.
Oh, look at that. Just nice Zed play right there. Uses the Yomos and QSS.
Yeah. Gold everywhere. And Blaze going for that Baron now. Is there anything that Lyon Gaming can do to stop them? I don't think so. They're coming in now. Yeah, it is too late. They're going to get it. There it is. Porky sees it, immediately runs away. There's a minefield, but they're going to jump onto Ner'zhul. Ner'zhul in big trouble, gets absolutely annihilated. And everybody else has to run. Flame looks a bit nonplussed, but he should be happy, man. He's a 3-1-7 Rengar.
He's got Thornmail.
He's got Thornmail too, yep. Oh, there's the ultimate onto Corki, way long. Emperor gets hit with the Ziggs ult as well. Porky zoning on the back lines. He's going to go in onto Emperor as well. He's going to get the kill onto Emperor, actually. Satchel Charge just kind of thrown out to get Yuri a head start, trying to get him in position to get the kill on somebody else, but they can't quite do it. Ambition, meanwhile, pushing down this mid lane, making sure that there's no minion wave to go after this tier 2 turret. They're going to have to face tank it, which they will do. Porky will do that all day. Yuri gets jumped on by Daydream. Daydream, you're crazy, man. Has to pop.
Oh, Lustboy coming in from the back right now. There's the silence hitting multiple members. Fear has Porky going the wrong way.
Trouble, but Daydream comes in, nearly dies. This is a crazy fight. This is insane. Ambition enters the fray now. Gets focused down.
And the Zhonya saved Yuri. The Zhonya, he popped Zhonya's to avoid the death mark pop.
Wow. Oh, here comes Flame. Oh, no. Flame coming in. Can he do the 1v4? Goes in onto Yuri. Has to back out of the fight, though. They're going to go onto Thyak after that fear, though. The culling. Zoning out the rest of Thyak. Not going to, well, probably not going to get away here. Turning to fight Flame. He's a brave Vi. Going down to the bitter end there. Wow, the team fights in this game have just been nuts.
Yeah, Lyon actually showing a lot of skill right here.
No kidding.
I really like how when they're down, even with the Baron buff up, they're catching Blaze a little bit by surprise with how aggressive they're playing in these situations. And they're following calls really nicely. They're going all in without fear. And it actually is working out for them.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. They have certainly shed all that hesitancy that cost them in game number 1. And even though they're down, they're even on turrets. They're only down by 5,000 gold. This is still a game that's a little bit open here.
Yeah, it is. And this Ziggs build is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
It's creating just so much burst in these team fights, and the use of the Zhonya's right there against Zed was just fantastic.
Yeah. Well, Ziggs is, I mean, the thing is that Lyon Gaming has this team that's going to get stronger over time. I mean, Shyvana is getting more and more tanky as time goes on. Thyak has had an okay game on Vi. He's got a couple items. It's not bad. Obviously, Yuri getting more and more powerful. Lucian's not going to get any weaker anytime soon. And Sona's just Sona, so she's always good.
And you guys, some of you may not have seen the Youmuu's build onto Zed yet, but what this allows you to do is it increases the power of your split pushing because it gives you greater flexibility. If you're going to be trying to burst down an enemy champion, probably better to get that last Whisper early. Yeah. But if you want to split push and take down a tower really fast, you can stand there at the tower, pop your Youmuu's, get that attack speed boost, and just murder a turret.
Yep.
So
that's the plan. Oh, Sai gets jumped on Daydream going way deep, but he's a little bit on his own. Lustboy in the back gets the fear onto Yuri. Yuri, Zhonya's immediately. Good thing too, because here comes Ambition. There's a crescendo over the top. Yuri's still alive in the blue buff pit. Thyak in the back causing trouble. There's the culling. Trying to zone for Thyak as he escapes. Yuri finally goes down to Ambition, but it's a double kill for Seiya already. Double kill for Ambition too. Lustboy's still alive. It's 3-2 in terms of kills so far on each side. Porky backing off a little bit. Lyon Gaming not looking too happy, but they do escape. Ambition searching for Lucian, but he's not going to find him.
Yeah, searching for a red buff more than likely. I'm not sure he wants to find a full HP Lucian when he has no ultimate.
You never know. Zed's a brave guy. Brave ninja. Oh, Lustboy gets taken down. Flame, though, jumping in onto Seiya. Can they do anything about this? Porky trying to help out a little bit. Ambition joins the fray. Flame pushing Seiya away, tries to get away with that cleanse. He's pretty mobile. Ambition gets taken down by Corki. Seiya's still alive. He's got the double buffs. Gonna go over to Flame now. That's gonna be a bit scary, but still all these fights so close, but Blaze just coming out a little bit ahead each time.
And even though they're trading pretty evenly, the big takeaway here is that at the end of the day, Blaze ends up with the map control. Yep. They're the ones who have the lanes. They can continue to push. They can continue to farm.
Exactly.
And so they're happy to continue making these trades. They will just increase that gold lead and increase that pressure. They'll eventually get this mid lane turret, which is very low right now.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Rengar, all he needs to do is roar and it'll fall over. And he doesn't even need to use the ability. He just needs to yell. Oh, Thyak going in onto Flame. Trying to push him back here. Needs to be a little bit careful. Don't want to pursue that too far. Ambition coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, Flame has the phage now, starting to stack up that damage.
Yeah.
This is where he gets really dangerous. There is, compared to Shyvana, compared to some other of these top lane bruisers that like to do the Spirit Visage Sunfire Cape, without damage items, with just those two items, Rengar is, he's not going to be as strong in the mid game. But once you start stacking the damage, like his late game is absolute terror.
Yeah. Now Blaze rotating over the top lane, seeing if they can take out this tier 2 turret. We'll see if they can. Ambition still in the mid lane. Wouldn't be a bad time to engage, which is exactly what they'll do. Ziggs ultimate coming in a little bit off center.
Well, they wanted to just clear the creep wave right there, which is one of the primary uses of Ziggs ult since the Riot changed it. One of the things that's great about the new patch, Ambition just pops in there, takes out the mid tower.
Why not? And Blaze trying to draw Lyon Gaming back into the jungle. They need to be careful. Lyon Gaming, though, not falling for it. They've done a good job of not getting caught all game.
They've also done a very good job of warding this game. They've kept up with the vision battle, and they know that what Blaze wants to do, what they need to do is set up those picks.
Yeah.
And they've done a solid job of avoiding them. There haven't been, that many opportunities for Ambition to really just take someone down 100-0.
Yeah, very true. Well, the game's still going. Blaze with a pretty comfortable 6,000 gold lead at this point. Still up a turret as well. Starting to knock down those tier 2s. And it's, again, now we're back in that position where Lyon Gaming is going to have a little bit of a struggle gaining that map control back, but they did it before.
Yeah,
look at this. They can do it again.
They're clearing with double oracles right now, 30 seconds before Baron goes up. So now is the time to go ahead and shove the lane, see if you can draw someone into bot before Baron comes up.
Yeah.
But Ambition needs to leave. If they see him down there, I mean, we may see Lyon just try and rush the Baron.
Well, we'll see. Mid lane is where the action is for now anyway. Ambition coming back into the jungle, so yeah, they knew.
Yeah, they're going to take the red buff as well, so Ambition gets a free red.
Yep.
And then heads back down into bot, so a little bit risky.
Well, Blaze, you know, they do have vision control over the Baron right now. They could go for it. They're going to give Yuri that blue buff again. Yep.
They're all 5 members, but really right now, they're losing. They're going to lose the vision if they're not careful.
Yeah.
As Ambition actually is going to go down there.
Yeah,
and he pops
flame.
He's just pushing with his Yomus right now.
That's right. And the members of Lyon Gaming trying to recall decide not to go for like a counter Baron or something. And I don't know if they're going to get back to save any of these turrets. One goes down, and now the remaining members of Blaze can easily take this Baron. Porky jumping onto Flame, but it's all a distraction. It's all a lot of free stuff, actually. A free turret. Now a free Baron.
They really baited Lyon hard into these chases.
Yeah, they did. Well, Crescendo, they do miss Ambition. He managed to get out. Thyak chasing him down. There's the ultimate. Ziggs comes in. Yuri with the kill with that ultimate.
Yeah, but they'll trade kill for kill, even though it was only the support. They really drew out Lyon out of position right there. Lyon, I think, it's so hard to make a call in that situation, but if they had just tried to engage just a little bit earlier right there, they had to go back once there were 2 split pushers on their turrets. There's not really anything you can do about that. But they did have a time when Zed was down in that bottom lane where they may have been able to make a play.
Trinity Force acquired by Flame. That could be one of the final nails in the coffin for Lyon Gaming here.
I think it is. I think it probably will be, but
yeah, the damage is going to be pretty insane. Look, he can even kill invisible dragons. He's like, well, I can turn invisible too. So invisible dragons don't scare Rengar.
I mean, really, it's just a Lyon team kill right now. I can't believe Rengar's killing Lyon.
Yeah, seriously. Brother versus brother.
Fratricide.
Lyon versus Lyon. Disgusting. Wow. Flame is absolutely terrifying right now.
Easily able to start clearing these out. Look how fast he can get rid of those waves now that he has that Trinity Force alongside his Sunfire.
Yep. And Lyon, you know, they see that Baron buff as well. Not a lot they can do about this. Try to push the lanes up as best they can. Try to handle that split push. They still have all their inhibitors, but not for long. And look at the warding, too, in their bottom jungle. They're trying everything they can.
They're doing a good job. They really are.
Yeah, they are.
They've lasted a long time in this game, and they've had a good lead at times.
Well, man, when's the last time you saw a non-Korean last until 40 minutes with a 10K gold deficit against CJ Blaze? This is a great game from Lyon Gaming.
They're playing it out very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making Blaze work for it, no doubt.
All right. Well, they may try and take a look at this open inhibitor. They still have the Baron buff up. They should make a play. They're trying to stay out of vision range right now.
Yeah.
Trying to get the drop, but there's just so many wards in that jungle. Ambition may get caught a little bit.
Well, that's right. They're going to try to catch Nerzul. They will catch him. Ziggs ultimate comes in to add a little bit of damage in. Yuri tossing those bombs from the outside. Porky trying to get in the back, but speaking of people in the back, Ambition comes in right onto Seiya. Takes him down very easily. Yuri tries to do some damage there. Flame a bit low. He may go down. No, escapes just in time. Good turnaround. There's the flash. The double kill from Ambition in the back, though, onto Yuri. And Porky, the only man standing, managed to get the kill on Flame. So he can get away. He can feel happy about that. But I think that's going to be the game now for CJ Blaze.
I think it is. I mean, it was a noble stand, I think, by Lyon to take this one out. And Ambition coming in here actually takes a turret hit right there. Got to be a little bit careful. Ooh.
Oh, Ambition. You know, they fought to the bitter end. A fantastic game from Lyon Gaming. But that is going to be about it. As the Nexus turrets go down, the Nexus itself goes down as well, and CJ Blaze will be your first finalist in the 2013 WCG Ambition. D-padding his KDA at the end there. But that is it. CJ Blaze with the 2-0 over Lyon Gaming. But I got to say, Lyon Gaming really a great